Hi there, and welcome to an episode of Julie's Forgiveness Corner. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Julie, and today we are going to begin a journey together. A journey that will teach you about forgiveness. When we forgive, we begin to see that the person who caused us unfair hurt has deep, inherent worth. When we forgive, we soften our hearts toward that person, which helps us to extend kindness, love, generosity, and respect to that person. As we begin this forgiveness journey together, we will not talk about forgiveness right away. We are first going to talk about concepts including inherent worth, kindness, generosity, and love. Today, we are going to be learning about seeing the worth of all people no matter what by reading a story together called The Fox and the Hound. This story is about two main characters, Todd the Fox and Copper the Hound. As you listen to the story, I want you to think about whether or not Todd and Copper are able to see the inherent worth of one another. And now I will be reading an abbreviated version of the Walt Disney story, The Fox and the Hound. The story begins with a little baby fox and a little baby hound, both being adopted by two neighbors. This is Todd the Fox. And this is Copper the dog. Two other characters that you see on these pages include Amos Slade, the man who adopts Copper, and Chief, the hound dog who takes care of Copper. One day, the little hound named Copper and the little fox named Todd met. They became the best of friends. They promised to be friends forever. As time went by, and as the two friends were growing up, Copper the hound learned how to be a hunting dog. One day, Todd visited Copper. They were all grown up. Copper told Todd that he couldn't be friends with him anymore because he was a hunting dog. Just then, Amos the hunter fired 3 shots from his rifle, and a fox hunt began. Only this time, the fox that was being hunted was Todd. Copper led Todd to a safe place and then tried to lead his two hunting friends into another direction. The old dog, Chief, stayed on the fox's scent. He followed Todd to the railroad tracks. All of a sudden, a train came from out of nowhere. Todd was able to avoid it, but the old dog Chief could not. He fell off the side of the bridge and hurt himself. Todd was so scared about what had happened that he ran home. Amos brought Chief home and wrapped his leg, which had been injured in the fall. Copper was furious. He thought that Todd had purposefully hurt Chief. He vowed to avenge Chief's injury and to hunt down his old friend Todd. Amos and Copper set out fox traps all over his property. And one day they saw Todd and started to chase him through the woods. And just as they were gaining on Todd, a huge grizzly bear came out of nowhere and turned his sights toward Amos and Copper. Amos tried to run away, but he stepped directly into one of his own fox traps. The trap closed around his foot with a snap, and he could not go anywhere. The bear started to move closer, so Copper attacked to protect his owner. When Todd heard Copper barking and the growling of the bear, he stopped and he turned back, and he decided that he needed to help his old friend fight the bear. When Todd arrived, he saw that his friend Copper was already injured by the bear. And so Todd started nipping at the bear's ears. He distracted the bear and lured him away from Amos and Copper. Amos could hardly believe his eyes. He could not believe that he and his hound dog were being saved by a fox. The bear chased after Todd all the way to the river. The bear lost his balance on a log and came crashing into the water and was no longer a threat. Todd the fox walked out of the river and shook all the water off of himself. He thought that he was safe until he looked up and realized that Amos was hovering right near him with his gun pointed directly at the fox. Copper, the hound dog, injured from the bear, hobbled toward the fox, and he stood in front of his friend Todd. He said, "If Amos is going to kill you, he will have to kill me too." Copper stood between his friend Todd and his owner, Amos, and stared Amos down until Amos finally lowered his gun and said, "You're right, Copper. We should let him go because he saved our lives. Thank you for saving our lives, little fox." And Todd and Copper are still friends today.